Welcome, welcome, business owning moms, to my coveted maternity leave planning roadmap. We are in episode number 19, if you can believe it, of my maternity leave roadmap series takeover. And I have just been getting so much incredible feedback about the series, about the tidbits and the templates and the stories that we've been giving. Because honestly, the reason why Master Maternity Leave exists and the full on direction of my professional career is really to support women taking maternity leave from their business. And I know that every maternity leave is a little bit different. And by this point in episode number 19, if you've done all the action items and the things that we've talked about here, you're probably pretty far along in planning your maternity leave. And dare I say, hopefully, feeling a lot more confident than you were in the beginning of the episode. Now, if you want all the episodes, all the templates, everything in one place, and to join in and get all of the roadmap series on demand, you can go to mastermaternityleave.com/roadmap. It's a $29 series. So I hope that you'll think the investment worth it. What I want to talk about today are the only three problems that you have in your business. And I know that this is like a very lofty promise, but I really do want you to be present and hear me out about this. So if you are in a position where you're listening to this walking or you're doing something else, maybe pause, take out a notebook, or revisit this when you have a minute to just kind of write some of this stuff down, because my opinion on this is actually backed from my almost 10 years in operations advisement and strategic support. And a lot of companies would come to me and they would say, "Allie, I have a this problem or I have a that problem." And my opinion is that you actually only have three types of problems inside of your business. And the reason why there's only three is because most often, the categories are kind of big. So you can have tons of different types of problems within these categories. However, I think understanding the fundamental problem that you do have is actually one of the toughest things that you can do as a business owner. You want to make sure that you know exactly what is going on inside of the business. And the reason why this is important during the preparation for maternity leave is because you could go to solve the wrong problems in your business, and then you could be in a position where then you're out on leave and you're like, wow, I thought I solved this problem, but it really didn't make much of a difference in the day to day of running the business. So, without further ado, the only three problems that you have inside of your business are either one, a people problem, two, a system problem, or three, a process problem. And the reason why these are all really, really important is because if you know what type of problem you have or how it compounds into a different type of problem, then you can easily start to diagnose issues inside of your business. Now, I'm going to do these in reverse because A, I like to keep everybody on their toes, and B, I think it's really, really important to start with your process. So, process equals how, right? This is the third type of problem that you have in your business. The process that you have for how you go about getting customers, for how you deliver on your key services, or how you are, turning eyeballs into paying customers, right? The toughest part about it is that there needs to be some kind of process in place. Whether that thing is automated or consistent or all those things, that's a system problem. The process problem, however, means that you might not have that consistency inside of the business, just fundamentally, right? We might not know how something works, right? We might not know how something is delivered. And most often, what that means is you just need to get it down on paper. So you need to say, hey, listen, this is the thing we offer, this is how we deliver it, and these are the results that you might expect to achieve. Really simple. Lots of business owners have not done that. And don't feel bad if you have not personally done that with the things that you are doing. It's really common to really feel like you're just kind of flying by the seat of your pants, or if you don't have enough resources or time or any of those things to start to really flesh some of this stuff out. Maternity leave prep is the perfect time to do this, because then you can hand it to a person, whether it's a prospect. I'm the queen of Google Doc sales pages. I have been called in the past. I'm a big, big fan of just getting really, really clear and being like, this doesn't need to be fancy, but it is going to be effective. And so getting it down on a Google Doc, making sure you understand what your process is for something, then you can move into the second type of problem, which is a system problem. So systems to me is just consistent habits inside of the business. It can go with automation. It can be empowered by a person. It can be in a piece of technology, whatever that looks like for you. Systems are the things that I talked about in an earlier episode about the four key systems that every single business needs. It's really how you consistently create habits out of the how inside of your business. Because let's be totally honest, you might find a great way on how, right? You might know that going to an event and speaking on stage and positioning a certain offer works for your business. That how is concrete, but the system around generating those types of opportunities might be a little bit manual, or it might not be very consistent, right? So when we turn things into systems, we likely automate them, we put them into a piece of technology, or we put a person in charge of it, right? So that system in and of itself needs to be working. So a lot of folks will come to me and say, I don't have enough leads in the business. I'm like, great. Do you know how to generate leads? Like how in the past has worked for you? And they're like, yeah, totally. I understand exactly how this goes. And I'm like, great. When was the last time you did that? And then they're like, oh yeah, well, something got in the way, or I'm super busy, or this other thing worked. And I'm like, okay, well, we need a system here then that doesn't actually rely on you jumping into the business and reinventing the wheel every single time, right? Third type of problem, which was really number one, again, like to keep you guys on your toes, is the people problem. Okay. So, most often when I have folks come and knock on my door at operations agency or apply to work with me one on one, what they will often say is that my such and such project manager, account manager, COO, whoever that person is, isn't doing their job, or they don't know what they're doing, or I want to train them up and make them more effective. And my question always is, well, what processes support them, right? What are the hows of what they need to be doing? And what are the systems that they're in charge of either improving or making sure deliver on time? And oftentimes the answer is, I don't know. They don't have really clear expectations. They don't have really clear KPIs. They don't have really clear development goals, performance goals, those types of things. And so I always say people problem is the last one. Now, there is one caveat to that. If someone is actually operating outside of your core values, or is, doing anything that personally speaking, you are like, absolutely no, like stealing from the company, lying, or, not responding or doing basic functions of their role, that's a different story. Like that probably is a people problem. And first, however, I do like to ask myself though, when I, come up against a people problem, I'm like, great, do they have the processes to support them? Do they understand what systems need to be run and what the performance metrics are? And then I ask myself, great, do they have a clear role description? Do they have a clear set of leading and lagging indicators that they need to go ahead and abide by? And if those answers are yes, then you probably do have a people problem. It probably is the person or maybe a not right fit role. Doesn't mean you need to let them go. It might just mean that you need to reallocate their time to another, area of the company and use that resource elsewhere. So, breaking it down, you have process problem, system problem, people problem. There are tons of different things that could exist inside of those areas, but I do believe that if you go through the business, especially coming off of the episode from just reviewing your P&L, that hard work, where can you save money? Where can you save time? Where is the business maybe not operating really healthily? You look through those problems, ask yourself those questions. Is this a how thing? Do I really understand how to deliver, incredible YouTube videos? The answer might be no, or you might need to invest a little bit more into be able to do that. And so I love the problems question, because it's like, okay, have I gotten far enough? Is this just a quick tweak for a person that's currently on the team, or a resource that's currently on the team? Or is this something that frankly I just need to lob off of the business for right now and come back to it with fresh eyes and ears and time and capacity when I feel like I can really commit and figure out how to do this? So happy hunting. If you haven't looked through your P&L, I really do hope that you have done that. Please set some time to do it. But diagnosing your problems is one of the biggest business owner hacks that you can have, because I believe a lot of issues, operationally speaking, with businesses growing, all the things, are because you just actually don't know what the actual problem is that you are trying to solve. So happy hunting. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you guys next time.